I've just finished my visit at the ACE program, and it's very eye-opening. It's a great facility, and it's actually being used by some pre-apprenticeship courses, some apprentice courses, several different schools. The one school that I was found out about it through Park Road was just up the road, where I saw it on their website. Um, Apparently, they have the day broken up into two halves, and they'll get students in the morning for the morning session, then they'll get students in the afternoon session, and then they do this as part of their senior course, their senior years of course. Senior years of study. So they're here for year 11 and 12. They apparently do some tasters when they're in their junior years, so they can find out what they're doing or what course they want to go into. They offer a course in construction, so carpentry. They offer a course in architecture, and they offer a course in engineering. And I had a little bit of a look in some of those rooms. Some of the architecture work was brilliant. They were using very high-end software. Apparently they've got a trained architect who still works on the side as an architect in his own business, and is really raising the bar for their students. And some of the work that I saw on the walls was brilliant. Some really nice rendering and architectural work. The engineering course was working on programming and designing machines that would sort marbles based on colour or size or weight or density or whatever it was. That was a little bit above my grade for what I could understand, but just from what I saw, it looked really good. And the teacher that they had here is apparently the only teacher in the state who can accredit them for that level that they were trying to do. So students here are incredibly lucky. The construction area, the school is set up basically in a large factory and industrial zone, and they've got classrooms and office space towards the front, which is where I'm sitting now in front of. And then they have a massive factory area where they could basically build a house indoors. And I think that's probably one of the greatest setups for a construction course, because it means you can keep teaching it regardless of the weather. Now the students here, the weather's not too bad today, and they were actually working outdoors, doing a little bit of work. They're building the dog houses, and I've seen those sort of plans before. I had a look at one that was on the ground, and it looks very similar to something I've seen back home in Australia. And it's basically a small doghouse plan. The kids learn how to frame, they learn how to put sheeting on the material and get all the materials together. One bonus here is the students can get accredited or ticketed for being able to use things like nail guns, which they can't back home. And they were using circular saws, like handheld circular saws for cutting their sheet material. We can only use those if they're on a track system. And I asked them about that, and they said, yeah, there's the little loopholes you've got to jump through, all the legal things that you need to make sure that you're meeting, and you're testing the students and you're signing them off. And I observed a bit of a demonstration with the teacher and the kids who were about to use a nail gun. Some of them had used it before. He ran through the safety with them again, and had them using it. They also do some electrical work here, which I saw some of the kids working on, some plastering. I'm really impressed. I could have stayed here a lot longer and just observed, watching the kids at work. They didn't seem to be bothered by the fact that I was there. They were just getting on with their job. I took some photos on my camera, but it's hard to... You want to take a photo of the kids at work, but you don't want to have the kids in it because of that whole legal issue with students in photos. So I'll be looking carefully at those and making sure that nobody's identifiable. They said there were some other schools. That's a similar sort of thing. This isn't... I called it a magnet school. It's a charter school, and the girl who was showing me around, Amy, was trying to explain the charter school system. It's you're basically like a private school. You decide, you work out how you want to get your funding. You do get some funding from the government depending on how many students you have here. But the public schools still do get some funding because the students work backwards and forwards between the two schools. But they also need to find their funding as well from private sources, from local businesses, and the fact that this school is sitting here in the middle of an industrial zone, as they said, has really helped them, because they've had some businesses that have provided perspex and sheet material like that, because it would normally be an offcut that they can't use, but it's basically a sheet size that's would cost the school $50 to buy, and this factory has just said, yeah, you're helping the students, take it, it's scrap to us, so you take it. And they said that's been really excellent for them. I spoke to them, they use 3mm MDF in their model making, and I told her how, where we can't use that in our schools because of the dust factor, but they're actually, it's their architecture students using it for their models. They're designing it on CAD. They can bring the sheet of MDF, they sit it inside a laser cutter, and the laser cutter cuts all their pieces accurately, little pieces, so they can go and make a scale model. And to have the funding to be able to do that would be fantastic. I think they got it through a grant, and they've also got some 3D printers as well through grants and through raising funds to get the money to buy them as well. I think they use their 3D printers for doing product design, which is what we want to think about trying to do as well at school. And having seen it a little bit here, I'm even more interested in trying to follow up that path.